Hey, this is Lewis from Oxygen, and in this video, I want to show you the two new features in Oxygen 2.3 Alpha 1. So this is not a sales video, not a marketing video. I just want to show you where the features are and what they do so you know how to test them, and then please test them, report the bugs so we can get the beta out, and then the release candidate and the 2.3 final. So first new feature is modals. So, okay, let's say you want to make a pop-up, you want to make a light box, you want to make something flat at the side of the screen, whatever. You're going to use the new modal element to do that. So let's go ahead and first I'm going to add in a section and I'm going to add in a button. This button is what we're going to use to trigger the modal. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in a modal. And okay, here's the modal. So let's go ahead and design the content of the modal. You put whatever you want in here. Let's go ahead and put in a video. Let's say this is like a video light box. Okay, so we got our video of Rick Astley here. Let's go to the modal. And you can just style this like any other element. Let's go with 20 pixels padding. You want to change the width to 80%, go ahead, 90%, 70%, whatever. And then you can choose in the editor how it's going to look. You want to live preview the modal. Okay, this is how it's going to look when you open it. You want the modal to be hidden because you don't want to mess with your design. In the editor, choose hidden, or inline, it'll just show up full height in the editor. You can scroll past it. Of course, on your page, it'll actually look like this. Okay, then you can go ahead and set the trigger. So let's go to trigger. When do we want to show it? You can show it when user scrolls after specified time on X and tab, but we're going to go on user clicks element. And the trigger selector is the ID or the class of the element that's going to open up this modal. So we want this button to open the modal. Let's click this button. There's the ID. Let's change it to my button. There we go. Let's go back to the modal. Trigger selector is # my button. That's a selector. And there we go. Okay, now we click this button on the front end, it's going to open the modal. And then we've also got content styles for the modal, styles for the modal itself. You change the background color. You can change your modal position, where you make display on the left, the right, the bottom, whatever. Maybe you want to make like a hello bar that pops up. You could go top, make it 100% width. And then instead of having a video in it, you could have, you know, your button and your text. And then you go to content styles, stack horizontally, space around or space between, vertical line middle. And then you can take some padding off. And there you go, there's your hello bar that's going to float above your content. But anyway, we don't want that. We want a modal for the video. So let's go ahead and delete that modal, add in the modal, toss in the video, go up to the modal, and let's set the trigger to user clicks element, my button. Let's save this. And let's go ahead and take a look on the front end. And here's our page. Here's our modal. Click outside the modal, it's closed. Boom. Also, one thing you got to test is the close button. So you can add a close button into the modal. When they click this, it'll close the modal. But any button with the component Oxy close modal class will act as a close button. So you can make another element in X, style it however you want. Totally custom. Clicking that will close the modal. In addition to just clicking outside the modal. You can disable that there. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the new user design library. So let's go back to the admin and we'll add a new page. Well, first thing we're going to do is enable the user design library. So what the user design library allows you to do is turn any Oxygen installation into a source for the design library. You can then connect that site to another site and download all of its elements, just like you can for Atomic or Dentist or all of our other design sets. So to enable that, you're just going to go to Oxygen, Settings, Library, and make this WordPress install a design set. Click Update, and there we go. Now you're going to see this Oxy user library post type. So you can go over here and you can create elements here, and all the elements you create here appear in the library, or you can just make a normal page and set that page to be in the library. So I'm going to just make a normal page. Let's go ahead, add a new page. We'll call this my page with elements. And we're going to include the sections in this page in the library. Not the entire page, just the sections in it. Okay, let's go ahead and publish this and then open Oxygen and design some elements. Okay, so let's go ahead and design like a testimonial section. So add section, testimonial, make the background color black. You know, let's set up a global color actually. Let's make this like a blue. Call this primary. And let's go into this testimonial. Let's style it a bit. 40 pixels padding, background white. Let's go with border radius of 12. And let's go to a max width of 700. And let's center this. Okay, this would be one of our testimonial variants. Okay, let's make another testimonial variant. So let's go section. We'll add in a slider here. And let's put testimonial on the slider. And let's just duplicate this slide 2 times. And delete these extra empty slides, which we don't need. And we'll add in a heading here. People love us so much. Center. Okay, let's make this bigger. 48. And let's give this like a different background color. And a text color. We'll call this alternate and global colors. Okay, cool. So now we've got 2 elements here. Let's add a third element. Let's use some classes. So let's add another section. Let's make these some icon boxes. So add a columns, 33, 33, 33. Let's add icon box. We'll add a class to this because this works with classes just like our design library. So we'll call this my icon box 23. Just because I like the number 23 right now. And then we're going to put this in the columns. Now let's go ahead and style this class. So we're going to say these icon boxes are aligned center. And what else do I want to do? Okay, let's just assign. Now I'm not going to mess with the icon right now. Let's mess with the heading styles. So go heading, and we'll just make that heading style. Whoops, that's a text style. Okay, we'll make the text style blue. This isn't going to look good. That's okay. And the heading style, this global color. Cool. Okay, so there we go. There are our 3 elements: testimonial section, testimonial slider, icon boxes. Now we're going to make these appear in the library. So to do that, we're going to go to the structure panel right here on the right side. We go to the menu. We're going to mouse over the section we want to include in the library. Click the menu icon. Click categorize. This is going to control the category it shows up in the library. We're going to say this shows up in social proof. We'll do the same for this. Social proof. And if an element has a category, it's going to turn gold. That means it's going to show up in the library. If it's not gold, it won't show up. And we're going to call this categorize. We're going to call this, what do we do? Content. And then we're going to name these. This is going to be their name in the library. So rename this. We're going to call this single testimonial. We're going to call this testimonial slider. And we're going to call this icon boxes variation A. Okay, let's go ahead and save this page. And now let's go back to the admin for this page. And we have to generate screenshots for these elements, so you get a preview of them. So to do that, you're going to scroll down, go to the screenshot section, click Generate Screenshots. And that's going to send the URL of your page to our server. Our server is going to load it, run some screenshot generation thing, send you the screenshots. They're going to end up in your media library. Okay, cool. Screenshots generated. Great. Now let's go ahead and open another page. And we're going to find these elements available for use in the design library. Let's edit with Oxygen. And now we're just going to go to Add, Library, Design Sets. And the name of this site is, I'm just calling it Sandbox. That's the title of the site. So it's going to show up in the Sandbox design set, whatever your site title is, that's where it'll appear. And if you go to Sections and Elements, these sections and elements we just designed are now going to appear. So let's go ahead and add this. And boom, here it is. Now let's go ahead and connect this site to another WordPress install so we can use these elements on a completely separate WordPress installation. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the admin panel. We're going to go Oxygen, Settings, Library, and you're going to have this site key. If somebody has this site key, it means they're going to be able to access all the elements in the design library on this site. So let's go ahead and copy the site key. And I have another WordPress install here. This is a totally separate WordPress install. We're now going to go to Oxygen, Settings, Library, Enable Third-Party Design Sets. Check that box. And now we're going to add a design set, and we're just going to paste in the site key. So here's the site key, add source site, and now this site is connected to the other site. Okay, let's go ahead and open a new page here and see those library elements. Okay, let's go to Add, Library, Design Sets, and that design set appears in the list now. Sections and elements. Here we go. So let's go ahead and add this single testimonial right here. And you'll see it pulls in the element, it pulls in the global colors. The global color used by this element is added at global styles, colors, sandbox. If we add the other element with the other global color, that color is going to get added too. Here we go. And if we add in this element with the classes, if we go to Manage Selectors, that class is added right there. Okay, that is how to use the two new features in Oxygen 2.3 Alpha 1. Happy testing. Please test. I hope you like the new features, and we really appreciate all your help testing and reporting bugs. If you find any bugs, either email us, support@oxygenbuilder.com, or go to our GitHub page and report the bug. Thank you very much for watching. Again, this is Lewis from Oxygen.